the market broadened out. It started rewarding more companies than just the few being rewarded at peak concentration. And we actually think that's what's going to happen now, that this period of concentration towards the Mag 6 has been a function of two things. One, fear. Interest rates soared 22-fold in little more than a year's time, and we're still seeing the fallout, especially in real estate, but now in other sectors. That shock led to this desire for cash. And if people were going to dabble in the equity markets, they moved towards the high cash oriented stocks, and those that might be helped by this thing called artificial intelligence, just like AT&T was helped by this thing called the telephone back in the Depression. Yeah. Now I think we're going to broaden out, which will reward our strategies, we think, dramatically, because we are not in the mega caps.
Let me ask you this. How did you get started with investing? Like what piqued this interest?
I was in college. I was 20.
The market expanded. We truly believe that's what's going to happen today, as it began rewarding more companies than just the select few at peak concentration. Two factors have contributed to this period of focus on the Mag 6. Fear is the first. In just over a year, interest rates increased 22-fold, and the effects are still being felt, primarily in the real estate industry, but also in other industries. People's desire for money was sparked by that shock, and if they were going to gamble in the stock market, they gravitated toward high cash stocks and those that might benefit from artificial intelligence, much like AT&T did during the Great Depression thanks to the telephone. Due to the fact that we are not in the mega caps, we believe that expanding will greatly benefit our strategies. Would you mind telling me how you began investing? For example, what triggered this curiosity? I was a college student. I was 20 years old. We frequently focus on his actions rather than his actual words, which can frequently be distracting or serve as a commercial for his vehicles, X, SpaceX, and other products. However, there are 6 metrics that we use to score businesses, their founders, and their management teams. One of them is the moat and barriers to entrance, and I believe Elon is a master at using innovation to raise obstacles to entry far more quickly than anyone else. Why? Because his understanding of how to tackle a new challenge is so theoretically grounded in physics. Welcome back to Tesla Stock News, everyone. Today, we're delving into some intriguing observations from Cathie Wood of ARK Invest, one of the leading startup investors. She recently made headlines on the Iced Coffee podcast, sharing her audacious opinions on why Tesla, under the charismatic leadership of Elon Musk, may have the greatest edge in the tech revolution. We will dissect Cathie's opinions regarding Tesla's advantage in combining disruptive technologies, her emotional attachment to her investments, and the wider ramifications of her tactics. Is Tesla truly as innovative as Cathie thinks, even after a few challenging years for her fund? What does this signify for aid aficionados like us and investors? Stay tuned as we explore these topics and more. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can receive the most recent and best updates on Tesla stock news. Let's begin. Now you know it's worth listening to when someone like Cathie gives praise. It all comes down to how he uses data, and she's out there referring to Elon as the maestro of fusing technology that upends the entire field, robotics, artificial intelligence, you name it. Imagine guiding the future with numbers. Now, guys, consider it. You imagine a conductor conducting an orchestra when you hear the word maestro, not just an ordinary Joe. Elon, that's for you. Cathie claims that he is not just tinkering with automobiles, but also with cutting-edge technology that has the potential to transform our way of life. She's highlighting what makes Tesla unique in the tech competition, and you have to give her credit for that. It's not only about producing electric vehicles, it's about spearheading a technological revolution under the direction of Elon Musk, a genius who mixes technology like futuristic cookie dough. According to Cathie, this benefit is Tesla's capacity to develop and integrate with data at its heart. There is, however, a plot twist as usual. Some people are raising their eyebrows in spite of Musk's brilliant maneuvers, questioning whether all of this adulation is merely smoke and mirrors. Indeed, over the past 5 years, Cathie's fund has seen several downturns, which has alarmed some investors. It seems like Cathie's wagers are paying off, even though Musk and Tesla are pushing the envelope and producing this technological symphony. It's a classic example of being enamored with the strategy but anxious about the score. And now for something that will make you feel everything. Not only does Cathie Wood admire Elon Musk, but she also has genuine feeling in her game. She is deeply invested in her profession and does more than just make cold calls and crunch figures. You don't hear about that very often, do you? She speaks from the heart, not just the brain, when discussing Tesla and Musk. Her employment seems to be an integral part of who she is, rather than just a job. The worst part, though, is that not everything in Cathie's world is shining brightly, despite all of this passion and dedication. This one is giving the critics a field day. They quickly bring up the fact that her fund, yes, the massive ARK Invest, hasn't performed well over the past 5 years. It's comparable to being an ardent supporter of a sports team that hasn't qualified for the playoffs in years. You support the squad and attend every game, but the victories are simply not coming, never arrives. Here's the thing. Cathie Wood isn't only idly speculating. Not at all. She's working hard at her studies. Her team at ARK works with brilliant minds like Carnegie Mellon battery experts and isn't just throwing darts at a board. That's dedication, people. It demonstrates her commitment to being truthful and making well-informed choices. It's similar to a coach evaluating plays, but these plays have the potential to influence technology in the future. And consider this. It's not only about choosing stocks or placing wagers. This has to do with figuring out where technology is going. Cathie is focusing on the specifics, the heart of innovation. Technologies like batteries have the potential to power entire cities in the future, not just automobiles. She seems to be attempting to capture lightning in a bottle. Catching lightning too? Not simple. But there's a big reward if she does it well. The future writes the rules for this high-stakes game. The game is far from done, even though the scoreboard may not show it yet. Cathie is playing the long game because the season is long. Consider this. What if she is correct? What if her wagers begin to pay off and the next major technological revolution is imminent? That has the potential to alter everything, not only for ARK, but for all of us who are observing this. And keep in mind that Cathie believes that Tesla's biggest advantage lies not just in their vehicles, but also in their creative use of data and technology, exactly what she is wagering on. She refers to Elon as the master of disruptive technologies for this reason. Those who had doubts might end up on the wrong side of tech history if her forecasts come to pass. And for you, here's a little inside baseball. Although Cathie does not have Musk on speed dial, she is very certain that her team's research aligns with Tesla's ambitious objectives. Imagine them not speaking to each other on a daily basis, but when they do, it's as if they are completing each other's sentences. Elon Musk acknowledged ARK's efforts at a recent shareholders meeting, stating that it aligns with his own thoughts. That's a high five from one of the wealthiest men on the globe, not just a slap on the back. What does all of this mean for you and me, then? It indicates that you're most likely headed in the correct direction if your work is in line with the major players, even if you don't communicate with them frequently. However, it also begs the question. How much do you believe the vision when you aren't seeing financial benefits right away? Okay, let's take a closer look at Wright's Law, which you may not hear much about. They discussed this ancient piece of wisdom in great detail on the show. Shouldn't excellent research produce excellent outcomes, you ask? And it's okay for you to ponder. The question of whether you can trust the process, even if you aren't seeing any rewards, is raised by this. Investors are kept up at night by this type of information. Tell me if you require any other adjustments. Promoting the revolutionary potential of self-driving vehicles is one thing, but safely and successfully bringing them into the driveways of regular consumers is quite another. Tesla must carefully strike this balance between innovation and real-world application in order to restore stability and increase stakeholder confidence. It's similar to when a brand new blockbuster film receives a lot of buzz but falls short of expectations at the box office. Tesla is in a comparable situation. With their technology, they have promised the moon and stars, but now they must demonstrate that they can deliver on their promise quickly and without any problems. One of the things we're observing is that the car has a really high forecasting ability. In terms of anticipating, as you say, how this road would appear when it is hidden from view, for example, around a bend, it is truly surpassing people in this area. Additionally, it makes extremely accurate road predictions, and well, wherever there are cyclists or pedestrians. Tell me if you require any other adjustments.